What do you do with this whole music video thing, man?
Bruv, my life is a music video.
Alright.
There's a man who leads a life of danger. To everyone he meets, he stays a stranger. With every move he makes, with every chance he takes, odds are you won't live to see tomorrow. Secret agent man, secret agent man, they're giving you a number and taking away your name. Pretty faces that you find, a pretty face can hide an evil mind. Be careful what you say, or you'll give yourself away. Odds are you won't live to see tomorrow. Secret agent man, secret agent man, they're giving you a number, taking away your name.
Right-wing people on the internet think I'm a CIA plant because my father was with intelligence. I'm not a CIA plant. My father was a chess grandmaster. I was on track to become a chess grandmaster. So
he was a legitimate chess grandmaster.
My father was the highest rated black chess player in history.
Really?
Yeah. So my father was a big G in chess.
Yeah.
So I kind of grew up around all these chess geniuses, which is a really unusual way to grow up because you have like ex-KGB guys, you have complete autists. Like everyone's a weirdo, right? You're not that good at chess to be normal. Like even my father, a lot of people say, oh, I know this guy, he's really smart, or I know this guy has a photographic memory. No, and I'm not just saying this because he's my dad. When you've met true supreme intelligence, I've never met anybody else in the world who had the level of intelligence he had. The ability to supremely recall information. When I was with my father, if he needed your phone number, he'd ask, what's your phone number? And you'd say it once, and that was it for the rest of his life. He didn't have to write it down. You tell him an address, that was it for the rest of his life. He never wrote anything down. He never had to repeat anything to him. My father, when he died, someone messaged me who was in, because my father was in the CIA, He held the CIA record for the fastest assimilation of a foreign language. My father learned Russian within 2.5 weeks from zero. Well, you just read the dictionary. Like to these people, it's just like, just read it. When my dad died, James Altucher, do you know who he is? Now, James Altucher, you can ask him about my dad. Him and James played a game and it was a draw in the end. And James did a tribute to my father saying that he was just a scary dude. Like he was just supremely smart. So yeah, he was a linguist. He knew like 4 languages and he was a professional chess player. And I grew up around this absolute supreme intelligence. And I always knew, even when I was a child, that I was smart, but I wasn't that smart. My beautiful mother watered me down. Like I didn't have what he had. Like he was complete. He remembered every chess game he'd ever played. So you could be sitting there and he'd say, oh, I played him in 1982, and he'll just go through the whole game. Or he could beat you at chess without looking at the board. So you'd have a board in front of you and say E4, he'd be in another room, C5, knight F3, knight C6, and he'd be cooking dinner and he'd fucking smoke you.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. He'd play simultaneouses where he played with 100 people in a row, so they'd sit there and they'd think, and he'd just go board to board, just make quick moves. He played a blind simultaneous. You have a board and he has nothing. He played 3 people at once blind, beat them all. That's how good grandmasters are. This is what people don't understand about chess. Chess, I'm a kickboxing world champion, and I'm telling you, forget the UFC, forget kickboxing, the hardest sport in the world is world level chess. These guys are wired different. You can't learn it. You either have it or you don't. They called him E.T., as in the alien. Because my dad was one of the only players who would never take a draw, and he would rather lose in a blistering blitzkrieg fashion than take a draw, right? So he had some big losses, but he also had some fantastic crushing victories where he just went all out. He was really on the board. It was blitzkrieg. He just come at you with everything. And everyone to this day, even when he died, James Altucher was talking about him saying, I never played a guy who played chess like that. The guy was just crazy. I'm a CIA plant. Around TikTok now that I worship the devil or something.
Bro, yeah, something's going around. Like you have this satanic friend.
Yeah, so inside of my organization, which is called the War Room, one of the guys who works for us is a hypnotist. So he kind of looks like a bit of a magician, and he's a hypnotist. Jeez. And he's a hypnotist because he's very, very good at it. He's a hypnotist, which is a hypnotist who's part of the organization. There's pictures of me sitting next to him. This hand symbol, so I adopted it, and then I got comfortable doing it. It doesn't mean anything. I don't know where it's from. I'm a CIA plant.
Is Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate's arrest a publicity stunt? Hear me out and watch this video first.
Wait, who is this? Who is this nigga?
Now one thing I want you guys to watch is look at the door. It's open and there's only 2 people. Andrew is the closest to the door, but then it closes. One thing I want to pick out, which is why I'm 50-50, and honestly I hope it's a publicity stunt, is Andrew always has predicted this moment, and even predicted after being set up his next phase is death, which is honestly sad considering what situation he's in now.
First they delete you, and then after that is imaginary charges and send you to jail, and the third is put a bullet in your head. So it's like I've kind of used up one of my lives. Yeah. So you're sitting there going, now what?
And it's not even on this just one occasion Andrew has said this, he said it multiple times, which is honestly scary.
The only thing I will say I don't like about being banned is that you get 3 lives when you attack powerful people. They first ban you and try and shut you up. Secondly, they'll put you in jail for something you didn't do. And thirdly, they'll kill you. So I've used my first life, which is kind of upsetting when you know that next is going to be some false charges.
The 2 worst ones.
Yeah, and if you survive the false charges, you just die.
He also has said on many occasions he would never take his own life, which honestly he has predicted everything right to this date.
I'm a CIA plant.
Describe your tattoo. That one on your chest. The one on your chest. How did you? What's the story behind that?
So it's a snake. Here, it's very dark. It's dark because it's a cover up because I didn't like it the first time round. But it's a snake. It starts on my right hand. See, you see, it starts at the bottom. It curls around my arm, and it goes to here. And there's a snake that ends, and there's a devil mask. So it's a devil face and a snake.
Why?
Because the snake is fighting the devil. I'm a warrior. I was sent by God to Earth. I'm a CIA plant.
I'll tell you something about my father. My father was literally a spy for the CIA. And they used to do insane things that you wouldn't believe, even inside of a coat hanger, to bug a room. It used to be extremely difficult to bug a room. Oh, the Amazon Echo, let me just put it there. And it listens to me 24 hours a day because every time I say, hey Echo, it hears me. And I trust that the CIA and all these other intelligence agencies are never, ever, ever listening in.